Good day to you all. Good day to the millions and millions of people who will watch this eventually, I'm sure. We are going to take you through the process of applying for a refugee travel document, which will take 2 videos, but it is still a very simple process that most people should be able to do very easily. And the simplest way to get to where you need to go, if you just go to Google or your search engine of choice, what is it today? Anyway, and type in travel document apply and spell apply correctly. Let's put enter. And now the first result is apply for Home Office travel document. And the quickest way to get there, if you click on how to apply, then scroll past all the COVID-19 information. And under how to apply, it says you can apply online. And applying online is exactly what we're going to do. So click on apply online, apply for Home Office travel document, etc., etc., etc. You might have to read all that about how they use their data. Click on apply now. Now, first question is about your location, and I'm going to assume you're currently in the UK, because if you're not in the UK, you can't apply for a travel document. So we have to assume you are, yes, currently in the UK. Then you have to choose what kind of travel document you want to apply for. If you have refugee leave to remain, you will be applying for a refugee travel document, and that is the simplest and most straightforward travel document you can apply for. If you have other leave to remain, such as humanitarian protection leave to remain or discretionary leave to remain, you might have to apply for a certificate of travel, which is a much more expensive and a much more complicated procedure, which you might want to talk to a immigration advisor about. However, for now, we're just going to do refugee travel document. Save and continue. Now, you have to register an email to this address. Now, so I will put in my email address, which is Big E Langston MRSN at gmail.com. Let's just check if I got my email address correctly. Yes, I have. And then create a password, and this would just be a password for this application. So it'll likely be a password you only need to remember for the next 30 minutes. So I will put one in now. And it has to contain, it has to be 8 characters long, include a letter and a number or symbol, etc., etc. I think that's correct. Save and continue. Yeah, whatever. Okay, and they have set a verification email, which we'll come back to in a second. So let's continue with the application and then come back to the verification email. So save and continue. Who does this email belong to? Well, I am Biggie Langston, so it belongs to me, the applicant. And your email will likely belong to you, the applicant. Do you have an immigration advisor? No, you don't, because you are completing this form by yourself. So we continue. Here are your first answers. And if you see something here that you've done wrong, like maybe Big E Langston MRSN isn't your email address, you can click change and put in your email address there again now. But because that is my email address, I can cancel. And I'm happy with all those answers, so continue. Your name. So your title. I'm you could be Mr., Mrs., Miss. I happen to be Dr. Big E. That's my first name. So my first name and my second name and my middle name. And my family name or surname is Langston. Save and continue. Have you ever been known by any other names? Now, this is usually for people who changed their name when they got married, which is not a common thing in many cultures. But perhaps you've changed your name in the past and you need them to know your old name as well, blah, blah, blah. But I am Biggie Langston. I've always been Biggie Langston, so I've never had another name. They ask again, can they use the email to contact you? And yes, they can. So we continue. Provide your telephone number. Now, so here, put in your main telephone number, so your mobile number. So mine is 01618680777. If for some reason you can't be contacted by telephone, you click there, but you can contact me. I'm happy to talk to you. I've missed out a 7, so there we go. And where do you use this telephone? And for most people, just put use it when you're in the UK and you use it when you're out of the UK, whatever. Save and continue. Postal address. Now, you put your postcode in here. So my postcode is M14 for Robert Bravo. Then you would go find UK address. And then from this drop down menu, you'd pick the address you live at. Blah, 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 blah. And I live at Manchester Refugee Support Network, 129 Princess Road. Click. Is this where you live? Yes, that is where I live. And when did you start living at address? So here you would put the day you moved in to the address you live at. And I moved into Manchester Refugee Support Network in November, so it's the 11th month of 2016. Save and continue. Your gender and relationship status. Now, I, as you can tell from my deep and rather attractive baritone voice, I am male. What's your relationship status? So basically, are you married, single, etc.? I, unbelievably, Big E Langston is single. So, save and continue. Nationality and date and country of birth. So, first, what nationality are you? Big E Langston he's from the Federated States of Micronesia. Date of birth, so you put it when you're born. I was born on the 1st of the 1st, 2000. Now, where we born? Now, I was also born in Micronesia. So your country of nationality might be different from your country of birth. So which country were you born in? And then you would put your place of birth. And this should match the place of birth that it states on the back of your biometric residence permit. And I was born in that famous place in Micronesia called Microtown. Save and continue. Talking of biometric residence permits, do you have a biometric residence permit? And you will very likely need to have one to apply for a refugee travel document. And I, yes, have a biometric residence permit. And then you would enter your permit number. Now, if you look on this biometric residence permit, this is my friend Susanna Sample. She's happy for me to use her details. Your biometric residence permit number is in the top right here. So ZU 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay. Where am I going? I'm going there. So my permit number is ZU 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And yes, save and continue. Your national insurance number, which if you're a more recent refugee, this might also be in the back of your biometric residence permit. But if not, you should all know your national insurance number. My one is AB123456C. So after you put that in, save and continue. Now it gets to ask about convictions and other penalties. So, have you ever had any issues with the law? This could be criminal convictions, driving offences, cautions, bankruptcy, etc., etc., etc. Now, if you do have any of these, it would likely not affect your travel document application. However, if you say you haven't had any of these and they later find out you have, that will get your application cancelled. So it's best just to tell the truth. However, B. Langston is a good boy, so he's never had any of these. Same continue. Now, have you, in either peace or wartime, have you ever been involved in suspected of involvement in war crimes, crimes against humanity, or genocide? I mean, it could be very difficult for you to get refugee status if you have. So I'm going to hope that you don't. And also, Big E has never done any war crimes, so no. Now we get to 3 terrorist questions. Have you ever been involved in, supported, or encouraged terrorist activities in any country? No. Question number 2. Have you ever been a member of or given support to an organisation which has been concerned in terrorism? No. And the last question on terrorism, which is slightly more vague. Have you, by any means or medium, expressed views that justify or glorify terrorist violence or that may encourage others to commit terrorist or other serious criminal acts? I'm going to guess all of you will be saying no to all of these. And then the last question is a confusing double negative. Have you ever engaged in any other activities which might indicate that you may not be considered a person of good character? So you would say, no, I am not a person of good character. Yeah? You understand? Of course you do. Same continue. How long have you lived in the UK? So going from when you first applied for asylum, how long have you lived in the UK, including in NAS accommodation and any other means? Big E has been here for 5 years and 5 months. Same continue. Ben asked, do you know which country or countries you plan to travel to? And this is a completely just nosy question. They're trying to catch you out, and they're hoping that you'll say you want to travel to the country you're claiming refugee status from, which is obviously against the rules. So wherever, even if you know, just say no. Just say no, no. So continue. Were you sponsored to come to the UK? Now, this means, did you come to the UK as an asylum seeker, as a refugee in your own right, or did you come to join a wife or a husband or a parent or whatever? If you were sponsored, you would put yes and then enter your sponsored details. But assuming that you are a refugee in your own rights, you came as an asylum seeker, you would say no. Do you have a Home Office reference number? Now, the short answer is yes, you will have a Home Office reference number, but some of you might not know it. Now, if you have any letters from the Home Office, like this one to my good friend Nick Cave, your Home Office reference number will be in the top right and it'll be under our reference. So, and it usually starts with the first letter of your surname. So Nick Cave has C123456 7. So if you say yes, C123456 7. However, even if you search for letters from the Home Office and you can't find anything and you don't know what your Home Office reference number is, you can simply say no. Are you the family member of an EEA national exercising their treaty rights in the UK? I'm going to guess the answer is no. Have you made any previous UK immigration applications in the UK or abroad? Now, if you are a refugee from an asylum seeker, you will say yes, because when you applied for asylum in the UK, that was technically an immigration application. So you say yes, save and continue. The name in which you made the application, this is likely going to be the same name, so that would be Big E Langston. The date of application, what was the date you made an asylum application in the UK? On the 1st of 2015. And what's the application made in the UK? Yes, we have fingerprints taken. Yes, they would have been. And it's likely going to be on the same day, so 1st of the 1st of 2015. Okay, save and continue. Then it asks if you made any other immigration applications. If you have indefinite leave to remain, you will say yes, because you claiming indefinite counts as an immigration application. But if you've got refugee leave to remain, you can click no, save and continue. And as we check our answers, that can be